Hello everyone, welcome back to the new edition of this YouTube channel, Analyze with Ade Ayo. In this video, I will show you guys the strategy that made my over 2.5 goals bet 3 times more accurate, and I'm going to show you guys the reason why this thing is actually converting so well for me. So this particular strategy is about predicting that a match will have 3 or more total goals in a match regardless of which team scores. Example 2-1, 3-0, 2-2. So far the game ended up as more than 2 goals. So there are some slips sent to me by one of our members who happens to have this high interest of doing his own analysis and doing more research on different strategies. So I don't want you guys to see this as probably maybe this is my ticket, not my ticket, just one of my maybe very close members of our private circle groups. So one advantage of this particular strategy happens to be that it does not depend on which teams to win, and it works well with leagues or teams that are known for attacking against like playing attacking games. And we have it like maybe we have in a situation whereby we have a strong team and against the weak teams, things like that. If you guys have been observing most of my over 1.5 goals predictions too, you guys will notice that sometimes you always have it that the bookmakers are favoring the maybe home team or the away team with some kind of a very low odds. So like few months ago there was a particular over 2.5 goals prompt that I was using then, and this particular over 2.5 goals prompt, it is just based on what you just need to do in that particular prompt is to change the date. Every day you want to predict your games, you just need to change the date of that particular days that you want your games for that you want the over 2.5 goals games. Even though this particular prompt was working like magic then, I believe we all know that nothing is 100% when it comes to betting. So I abandoned this particular prompt for a while. Actually it was working. If you have been following this particular channel for a very long time, you guys will testify to what I'm saying. So this is how the system used to generate the games, and what I always include in the game is 80 to 90% probabilities of outcome, because when you are posting 100% on maybe including 100% in prompts, the system will give you wrong results, and in betting it will tell you that nothing is 100% accurate. So now imagine when you are using a prompt with 80 to 95%, why will you be expecting 100% results? So that's why I decided to stop using it then and make use of the manual strategy. So one thing about this particular strategy is that this particular prompt is that it will give you the insights of the reason why it is going for over 2.5 goals and the percentage of probabilities of outcome. But one thing that I always do with this prompt, immediately it generates the game for me, because I always put it that just 10 games, 10 games is enough. So from these 10 games, that's where I'm going to remove maybe like 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, depends on the total numbers of games that meet up with what I want, because I always apply this kind of a strict some kind of strict policy towards how I select my games from this prompt. So what I do is that as you guys can see the percentage of probabilities that we have here. So if I want to take a moderate risk in selecting my over 2.5 goals from the 10 games generated by this particular prompt, I always look into games that has 85% and above, 85 to 95% and probably 99% if possible. But if I want to apply strict rules, like maybe I want to apply strict policy towards how I want to select these particular games, I always go for 90% alone, 90% and above, maybe 90%, 91%, 92, 93, 94, 95. But when it comes to taking moderate risk, I always go for 85%. Alright, so assuming that I want to predict this particular game as over 2.5 goals, I'll be picking Liverpool, I'll be picking Aston Villa. But now, let us go for the strict policy, applying the strict policy. For this particular game, any games that is below 90%, I will remove it. For example, Liverpool, Aston Villa, I will remove it. Brighton, Fulham, I will remove it. So this particular game under the Brazil league, I will go for it because it has 95% chance that the game will end up as over 2.5 goals. We have the Rennes against Marseille too, and we have this particular game under the Australian league, which happens to be 92% probabilities of outcome. So this game, remove it, because I know the game can end up in over 1.5 over 2, but remove Girona. Basel, remove it. So lead against Everton, remove it. Most of these particular games are games that are giving this kind of vibes of over 1.5 goals. The way I'm looking at them, they are games that you can actually look into them as over 1.5 goals. And now let us see the total numbers of odds that we can acquire with just 3 games that uh, were able to extract. So for this particular game, Rennes against Marseille, let us check the odd for the over 2.5 goals. So we have odd 1.67 odd. This kind of odds sometimes we always struggle, like we always try to add or accumulate up to like 4 games, 4 safe games before we can acquire it. With just 1 games we are able to get 1.67. All right, so let us look for the Australian game. That's Medbury Jets against Adelaide. Or okay, Adelaide United. Unfortunately the bookies are blocking most of the market. Go bounce. So alright, so we're having an issue getting the market for this particular game, so let us just skip it. I'll probably, maybe if they open it, because I know that when it comes to Australian League, the score goes very well. I like using them for over goals and booting to score stuff like that. So for the Brazilian game, which happens to be the under 20 Brazilian Serie A, it seems like they've blocked this particular market also, except for predicting their straight winning. So let us just skip that and move on to the main gist of this particular video. We are moving on to the main gist now. So the main gist of this particular video is in this particular app, SofaScore. So this app will give us the trending data, something that is trending in the start of the teams that you want to predict your games on. So if there's any game that you want to predict, probably any games, this system will help us to generate up to like maybe the last 10 games. It will give us the anything that is trending in their last 10 games against other teams and against each other under their head-to-head if it is available. All right, so this app will actually help us to eliminate some games that can make us to have maybe second thoughts, because it will reveal the streaks of these particular teams. And when you are playing over 2.5 goals and you can't get over 2.5 goals for the home team and the away team, and there are some factors that you need to look into, because now I'm seeing under 2.5 goals 4 out of the last 5 games of the Marseille. And unless, okay, we have both teams to score, yes, for the home team Rennes, so there is a high chance of this particular game ending up as over 1.5 goals. And in their last 10 games, at least in their last 10 games, 8 out of it ended up as under 2.5 goals. So you guys can see that there is a risk in this particular game. But if we should look at the last 2 games, or last 2 games, it ended up as over 2.5 goals. There is a high probability that this particular game we end up as under 2.5 goals, and there's chance that it will end up as over 2.5 goals. It is 50-50. So if you guys check very well, most of their games ended up as under 2.5, except for these particular games that are currently alighting, and those games did not fall under their last 10 games. Are you guys getting it? So now if you want to apply a very fast method of getting your over 2.5 goals, now let us make use of Australia League as an example. So this particular league, I love them because of how the score goes very well. So the first thing that you need to do is to click on the matches, and that is where you are going to see the team streaks. And under this particular category, you are going to see over 2.5 goals for the home team. Check for over 2.5 goals for the away team, and both teams to score. These 3 factors must be there, and if you are able to find it in their head-to-head too, then it is fine, because it depends. If in their head-to-head you were unable to get up to like 10 games, then you can skip it. But if you are able to get it, you can look into it too and add that to your data. Now this particular first game, I would like to go for it as over 2.5 goals to me, without even stressing myself further to check the last 10 games or last 5 games of the home team or the away team. Now we check the next game and do the same process. Check if there is over 2.5 goals for the home team, over 2.5 goals for the away team, and both teams to score. This shows that both teams has the high tendency of scoring in that particular games, and the high chance that the game will also end up as over 2.5 goals. Although I want you guys to take note of something. When it comes to betting strategy, no strategy is 100% accurate. So what I just want you guys to do is to approach this particular strategy with care. So let us look into this particular game also. And okay, we are unable to get the over 2.5 goals. Just keep. Even though we've seen it in their last previous games against each other, sometimes ended up as over 3.5 goals, over 4.5, but we are skipping it. Alright, so please approach this particular strategy with care. It is a kind of a strategy that is easy to acquire over 2.5. Very fast, very fast. So the games that we have here are tomorrow games. If you are watching this particular videos on this particular video on time, kindly make use of it and let's see how the strategy is working. Come back to this place, drop your question, drop your findings, and then you can thank me later. Now there's a particular game that we got from okay, Modbury and Adelaide. So let us check this particular game first. Alright, so we are able to get over 2.5 goals for home team, and the away team happens to be 6/8 of the last games, and we are able to get both teams to score. Okay, this happens to be another perfect game for over 2.5 goals. Now this particular game happens to be the game that the AI generated for us with 92% probabilities of outcome as over 2.5 goals. Now let us check the matches and let's see the streaks. Alright, so we were able to get over 2.5 goals for the home team, over 2.5 goals for the away team, both teams to score, and this game seems to be good for over 2.5 goals. Alright, so if the bookies unlock the market, then we can apply for it. And please, if you have any question regarding to these steps, please kindly drop it in the comment section, like our video, and subscribe to this particular channel if you are just joining. See you guys in the next video. Bye.